Hi, everybody. Welcome to the PokeBeach.com podcast. Sorry, we're both dead. We're recording this at like 8:30. We've had very tiring weeks. I almost threw up on the freeway today and crashed the cars. I'm John. I go by Water Pokemon Master on the website. And I'm joined as always by my good friend...
I'm Justin Basil, and if you couldn't understand the guy that was giggling through the intro, that's Water Pokemon Master of PokeBeach. You were listening to the PokeBeach.com podcast.
Did I say that?
We have some news. We weren't here last week because there wasn't that much news last week.
No, we were both
but this
like...
week we do have some news.
We were both like, we're tired. Let's just skip the week. There was nothing.
Yeah, but there genuinely wasn't that much news.
Yeah, there wasn't. Okay, so let's start with...
We had like a 10-minute podcast last week. So.
Yeah, it would have been really short. It wasn't worth it. All right, so our first story of the week... Well, actually, let's start with the...
Start from the back?
No, I want to start with the special English set coming out. So we're going to get a special English Scarlet and Violet 8.5 set on January 17th. The first wave of products will include an Elite Trainer box, a poster collection, 3 tech sticker collections, and a binder collection. So these are like the ones we get that we got for 151. They have the same configurations, as you can see here. More products will definitely follow, such as mini tins and EX boxes. And we expect our 8.5 set is going to be comprised of Japan's upcoming EX starter deck generations, which will be releasing on November 22nd. As you can see here, there are 9 decks that'll each feature a legendary Pokemon from their generation, along with another Pokemon from that generation, with the exception of Generation 1, which will have Pikachu instead of Mewtwo, Mew, Articuno, Zapdos, or Moltres. So in these decks, we're going to get Pikachu EX, Snorlax EX, Lugia, Tyranitar, Kyogre, Blaziken, Dialga, Lucario, Reshiram, Amoonguss, Xerneas, Noivern. Why does Noivern always pop up? Why is it like every episode we mention Noivern?
Noivern pops up specifically, so when you look at it, you go, Noivern? I swear every episode it's Noivern. I don't know why. Is that confirmation bias or is that no? I think it is like anyway. No, Noivern is overloved. I think
maybe frankly, yeah. It's like Batman. Yeah. So Tapu Koko, Mimikyu, Zacian, Alcremate, Koraidon, and Paldean Clodsire. You know what would be funny is if we had Noivern as Batman and Palafin as Superman. They should make like a tag team card of those two somehow. I mean, they wouldn't have the same type, but we have superhero Pokemon now. Oh, and then we also had we have Halucha, which is kind of like a superhero sort of. It's like a wrestler. We had Gligar Man, and never mind. I'm tired. I'm not making any sense.
A little in the depths there.
Well, what?
Getting a little into the depths there.
Yeah, I'm getting too in depth. But anyway, so our special English set will definitely have these cards in it because they're coming out in November. And then we should also be getting the cards from Japan's Terrestrial Festival set, which will release on December 6th. It'll be headlined by Eevee and its evolutions, all wearing the wonderful, beautiful, stunning Terra Crown hats that we all just love so much.
In case you couldn't tell, he was being sarcastic.
And as usual, all this information is preliminary and subject to change. So yeah, I think this will be cool. We're going to get legendary Pokemon and the evolutions. Of course, the legendary Pokemon are going to be probably not going to be the best cards because they're coming from pre-constructed decks that are going to cost like, what, $10? So
I mean, you say that, but like Entei V, Raikou V, they both came from decks just like these.
Yeah.
And they have seen quite a bit of play. So I don't think it's I don't think it's fair to say these will be bad just because they come from decks. Now, does that mean that they will be good? No. Do we have a high likelihood they'll be playable? Also, no. But, it doesn't mean they're not playable.
I see your kitty in the background wagging his tail.
His floofy butt has decided to join us.
Well, these deck EXs aren't going to have, special illustration rares or full arts or anything like that. So it'll be the EV missions that'll...
Unless they come out with Terrestrial Festival, right?
I don't know if they would do that, though. No, I don't think they've done that before. But anyway, so yeah, this is only the first wave of information for this set. We'll find out more in probably, a month or so for the... we'll probably get like
about that.
Yeah, we'll probably start to get the product reveals or maybe the set name or something. Maybe a few more products. Okay, so that's the next English 8.5 set. Oh, and then after that set is when we're going to get like the owner's Pokemon.
Trainers Pokemon. Yeah,
trainers Pokemon.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and then Team Rocket, and it's going to be a fun year. I'm excited about this coming year. We've talked about that before. I thought this year was a little bit stagnant. So it's cool that the card game is going to get to do its own thing next year and not be beholden to the video games.
It is cool. I was actually talking to one of my students yesterday about it. So
oh, really?
They're excited about it. Yeah, they're excited. Like, oh, they're going to do Trainers Pokemon again. I'm like, yep, really cool way. It's been a minute.
Are they calling them Trainers Pokemon, or did they say Owners Pokemon?
No, student. They didn't have a name for it. They're just calling it.
Oh, I
see.
Like,
you remember like Erica's Pokemon? I'm like, yeah, exactly.
It's like we're a sponsored video where they're using like all the official terminology, and it's like a sponsored video because they're like, if you ever watch like
Pokemon might be paying this person a lot of money. You don't know.
Yeah, if you ever watch like random Disneyland videos on YouTube, you'll see like when they're sponsored videos when they don't say like, oh, the Haunted Mansion ride, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. They use like their official titles for those rides, and you can tell it's sponsored because nobody calls them by their shorthand names. Anyway,
it's like when players refer to first partner Pokemon.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Like nobody calls them that at all.
Like no one.
They're starter
some
Pokemon.
Judges maybe just because they're used to having to speak that way at challenges or something, but most people know.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. Next news story. Let's okay. I'm gonna do. This is kind of a fun story. So, in case you didn't notice, this year we are getting. Oh my God, I can't talk. We're getting a new set of connected art cards, and this time they're being drawn by Tiziro, as you can see here. These are 9 different cards releasing throughout the year in different sets, and by the end of the year, all 9 cards you can put into your binder to form a full illustration. So we just got the reveal of Togetic the other day, and last night Japan's Pokemon Center revealed sleeves showing the full illustration, which shows that there's also going to be a Spheal, presumably in Supercharged Breaker, which will be our Surging Spark set. So the first card that released was Dunsparce from Temporal Forces. Then it was Torkoal from Twilight Masquerade, Wattrel from Twilight Masquerade, Golbat from Shrouded Fable, Slowpoke from Stellar Crown, and then Japan has Pessimian and Vibrava from Paradise Dragona, and Togetic from Supercharged Breaker, and presumably the Spheal. So all 9 of these cards you have to collect throughout the year, open packs from those sets to form the complete illustration. This is the second year they've done this. They did it last year with, oh God, how do I pronounce this? Hyogonosuke's connected cards, as you can see here. You might have remembered these from last year. That was the first time they did this, where they released the cards across multiple sets to form one illustration. Before that, they had, what was it? What was the special set that had all 9 cards, like the Turtwig, the Pikachu,
Crown Zenith?
Yeah, Crown Zenith. But that was all within the same set, whereas this is 9 different cards spread out throughout the whole year. So... I'm expecting we're going to get this every year from now on, and I think it's pretty cool. It's like rewards you for like collecting the different sets throughout the year, and
you get to complete the picture.
Yeah, exactly. So
I like that it's 9 too, because like the default binder page is 9 is a 3x3.
Yep. But
nice.
Yep. Not like the Union cards where it's like you have to put them either up to the left or down to the right. It doesn't look right because it's only 4 cards.
It could be up to the right or down to the left.
Yeah. Well, either way, there's what's 9 minus?
Still
Yeah, there's Whatever 9 minus 4 is. I am so tired. All right.
You're here first. When John gets tired, he gets basic arithmetic.
Yeah. When I get tired, it's like I get drunk. I've never been drunk in my life. I've never had a drop of alcohol, but I feel like this is what it would be like to be drunk. Like not making any sense and laughing and being silly. I think that would, I don't know. All right. Next news story, minor one. There's going to be a new two-pack blister featuring reprints of Latios, Palkia, and Zekrom, but printed on Cosmos holofoil paper. And it's our favorite holofoil paper. We all love it. Mm-hmm. And you can get these 3 legendaries together on that paper. It'll cost $10.99, and it's already out on the Pokemon Center and should be at CVS and Walgreens as well. And you'll get 2 booster packs with it and a Palkia coin. So, yeah, minor story, but Cosmos
they exist.
Holofoils are always very pretty, especially because the borders are also hollow. So, getting them on legendary Pokemon, that's cool. All right, next news story. Supercharged Breakers Pokemon Center TCG accessories were revealed for October. They're going to release October 18th. As you can see here, it's the booster pack artwork with Terra Pikachu, deck box card sleeves. Then we have Jasmine and her Ampharos here on card sleeves in a deck box.
And we haven't seen an Ampharos in the set yet, right?
Correct. So, yeah. So we should be getting it.
Theoretically, at least.
Did we get a Jasmine card yet? Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We do have a Jasmine card.
So we might not get an Ampharos, but we could. Sometimes they have Pokemon on these that aren't in the set.
There's room for it what hasn't been revealed yet.
I'm just saying there's a possibility
it's possible.
that they might not be in it. But, I mean, if it's got Jasmine and Ampharos, like pretty likely we would see them. Then here's a card sleeve and deck box featuring Slacking and Slack Off and Fuecoco and Vigoroth off to the side there.
All of which we have seen, by the way. We have seen all of those.
Yeah, because we have the Slacking EX. Then here's Myotic EX, Phoebus, and Tatsugiri. The Lake Guardians, Yuxi, Mesprit, Azelf. I think these are really cute sleeves, actually. And the connected illustration, as I said before, the 9 cards. And then Esper and Meow Stick, which were revealed this week, and we will get to those.
As was the little cat toy in that picture.
Oh yeah. I saw some. I was going to ask you about that. I'll wait till I get to that story to ask you. I saw some discussion about that cat toy. Let me see. So what else should we get into the? Why don't we just get into the Supercharged Breaker reveals that we have? So.
Okay.
We got new illustration rares and new cards, including Scoville and EX, the Lake Guardians, etc.
We broke them, folks. We broke them.
No, I was already broken. So what do you want to talk about from these? I saw there was a theme of... Oh, go ahead.
Let's talk a little bit about Rabsca and Wo-Chien, because it kind of work together. Mm-hmm. So Rabsca has the attack twist ending. So for 40, you do 40 plus damage for a single grass energy. And if you have 3 or fewer cards in your deck, it does 200 more damage. You're doing 240 damage for a single grass energy. It's pretty good damage. You just have to get really low really fast. So you'd be using something like Adventurer's Discovery, Professor's Research, cards like those to nuke your deck down. There was a card very similar to this a while back, I believe in Cosmic Eclipse. It was an Excadrill that did 11th hour tackle. Basically the same idea, less damage, but proportionally similar in its time.
Was it a...
Deck worked.
I was going to say, was it good back
worked.
then?
It wasn't super competitive, but it did work. The advantage it had, though, is it had a Zebstrika that let it discard its hand and draw 4. Rabsca doesn't have that, so remains to be seen if we get something similar to that for this. Otherwise, this card's just kind of one of those fun cards to keep in mind in the future.
Maybe I mean, to mill your deck down to 3 cards just for this attack doesn't... I mean, seems like...
it worked for Excadrill. And let's look at Wo-Chien because it kind of jives with it. Mm-hmm. We have Greed Hazard, so Grass Colorless there. If you have 3 or fewer cards in your deck, this attack does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So you're doing 20 active and then a 120, which is not too bad. You do that, don't apply weakness or resistance, and then you have an incomplete translation there for the whip.
Yeah, I forgot.
But you're doing 130 damage there. It works, like I said, it kind of works together in tandem with the Rabska. They both kind of reliant on you having a very low deck size. So if you have a small deck, this is your guy.
Did you say that that attack discards the top 3 from your deck? The second one?
It does, but the attack cost is really ugly. So I'm hoping we get something like Welder for grass types or something to make that more reasonable to pull off. Because as it stands now, the attack cost there is a little high. So that it does mill the top 3 cards of your deck, but it's grass, colorless to do 130, which is a really big ask. And then that attack name is Entangling Whip, by the way. 130 is okay. Discarding top 3 is okay if you're trying to get your other attacks powered up, but I don't like the attack cost. There's just got to be something else.
I just noticed Wo-Chien has like those white ribbons like Suicune, sort of, except it's got leaves on them.
They're like whiskers, right?
I've never noticed it before. I'm not very observant sometimes. Reminds me of Suicune. And we had the Scovillain EX.
Scovillain is interesting. I like Scovillain. It has the ability double type. So as long as this Pokemon's in play, it has both the grass and fire types. And then it has Spicy Rage. Does 10 plus damage. This attack does 70 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon.
That's a lot.
So you can do something like use Frost Blast to throw damage on this. You're hitting it. Basically, you're hitting yourself every single turn based on the damage that Frost Blast is forcing on you. And you can rack it up pretty quickly. You can also pair this with Gapejaw Bog so that when you play down your Capsicid that gets hit and really get that damage flowing quickly.
Is my math right? Does this this can do 1,760 damage? I think something
it does
like that.
a lot. I don't remember off the top of my head
Because it's 70 times
because you do 250.
25. Yeah, 70 times 25 plus 10. So it do 1,760 damage. Wow. That's cool. That's a lot of damage. Scovillain also had an EX card, a gym promo, but I don't think it was very good. I don't remember what it did.
It was okay. It was kind of a semi-control deck. It did see a little bit of success in Japan, at least. Not so much across the pond, but a little bit in Japan.
And then we had new illustration rares here of Feebas and Myotic EX, which was already revealed. I don't know if that was the previous episode or we'll see later.
No.
Is this new?
The Myotic, I think, would have been last week.
Okay, so
right?
let's talk about it then.
So Sparkling Scales prevent all damage and effects on this Pokemon by your opponent's Terra Pokemon, which, okay, sure. It's immune to Dragapult, I guess. And then you do 106 damage with Hypnoblast and put your opponent's active Pokemon to sleep. I think it's okay.
Pretty artwork.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy-ish. I always thought Melodic was kind of, or Milotic, as they now say. I always thought it was kind of creepy looking, like some ugly, like they always want to convince me that Milotic is supposed to be like really beautiful. I think it's kind of scary. Like, look at here, it could like.
I mean, it is. It's a sea serpent.
Yeah, it could like.
It's the kind of thing that kills the sailors, right?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. We got the special illustration rare here of Pikachu EX, Terra Pikachu EX, which we've already talked about before.
Is it just me, or is that the facial expression on that Pikachu kind of terrifying?
I wouldn't say terrifying. It's for me the perspective's kind of a little wonky.
It's a little creepy to me.
I don't know.
To me, it's like
I think.
You want to try something?
You want to try something?
It's got that creepy attitude look. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe the viewers can help me describe it. The facial expression on that Pikachu is creepy. How's that?
No, to me he just looks like he's looking up like, oh, I'm happy. I have a crown on my head. I don't know. Yeah.
To me, that's more the regular full art. that sounds like he's just happy. But
this one's more content.
I think it's the closed mouth that does it, honestly. It's just weird.
I thought the open mouth was weird the other week. I said it looked like it had fangs.
I would rather the fangs.
They can't win. They'll never satisfy everybody.
No.
Yeah. Everybody's got their own opinions, or, you know. So some cards are for some people, some are for others. That's the beauty of it. And they've released so many of them that, you know, there's always something for everybody. And something for everybody to hate, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
gotta keep the fans busy, right?
Yeah, these Yuxi Mesprit Now's elves are interesting. I almost thought that I had mistranslated this, but I didn't. You want to talk about the Yuxi?
Yuxi, for a single second energy, as you attack Painful Memories, put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon, which is pretty decent for a single second energy.
Yeah.
Kind of throw some damage around and get it set up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mesprit has Spiritual Fulfillment for single colorless energy. Attach up to 2 basic psychic energy cards in your hand to your Pokemon any way you like, which is pretty good. And then Spirit Burst 160. If you don't have Yuxi and Azelf on your bench, this attack does nothing.
How did you translate that?
Spirit Burst.
It says Godo.
So
it says Godo.
It does.
Basto.
And the lake spirits in Japanese they're referred to as the lake gods.
Oh,
so you
I
would
see.
translate that as lake spirits, so Spirit Burst.
Okay. Well, literally, it says Godo Blasto. God Blasto.
We've had some fun ones, like, was it Goddamn Blast from Incineroar?
What was it? Oh! I kind of remember that.
Yeah. I don't know. Goddamn Punch. That's what it was.
It was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
that was fun.
Yeah, Mesprit's usually like kind of the leader in the card game. It's always the one that like, oh, you have to have Yuxi and Azelf to attack with it or something. I feel like we've had that before. Also, I want to say
160 for 2 isn't bad, but
I want to say my favorite.
At least you can get him out with Poffin.
One of my favorite mispronunciations I ever heard at a tournament before was somebody say, "I'm going to use Uxie." Uxie.
Yeah.
I love Yuxi's name because it's like Yuxi, like it's seeing with its eyes, but it can't see because its eyes are closed. It's irony. Anyway.
And the last of the lake spirits here is Azelf for second colorless Mind Kinesis 10+ damage. This attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon. So if you're spreading a bunch of damage, it could do a decent amount of damage for 2 energy.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Clement's Quick Thinking, Clement's Wit, Clement's whatever you want to call it.
Clement's Quick Thinking deals 60 damage for each of your lightning Pokemon. It's okay. I don't think it's anything where I have them out. That seems very much like a theme deck card, but have fun with it. And then we have a reprint of Scramble Switch. Mm-hmm. Pokemon players who play Charizard, specifically in the Eternal format, you may rejoice that your A spec of choice now is cheaper.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so those were the reveals from last night. And then what else? Okay, let's go over Meow Stick, Amulet of Hope, Palis Sand EX, Alolan Dugtrio. Oh my god, there's a lot. Okay. All right.
Yeah, there have been a few reveals.
Esper and Meow Stick.
Yes, Meow Stick. This is an interesting one. It has the ability Tempting Tail. You must discard a relaxing teaser from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. So you have a gust effect on a stage 1, which is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. The artwork's pretty decent too. I've never really liked Meow Stick's design, but this artwork really makes it look pretty.
It's a style that works for Meow Stick. How's that?
Mm-hmm. It's like Rose of Versailles or something. And then
Relaxing Teaser is a trainer item card that says you can use this card only if you go second and only on your first turn. Put an energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon into their hand. This is very reminiscent of Wait and See Hammer. It's like a nerfed version of that. But because of Meow Stick, if you're playing Meow Stick, it has some sort of utility after turn 1.
Yep. You can. It's not just doesn't turn into a junk card or discard fodder.
I think these cards see a lot more play if they allow bosses' orders to rotate. We shall see if that happens.
All right, and then we have Amulet of Hope, a spec.
This card is pretty crazy. So Amulet of Hope is a trainer tool card, an spec that says if the Pokemon this card's attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack, from a damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, you may search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this is obviously something your opponent can play around. They can try to do damage, counter damage. They can blower this off with something like Lost Vacuum, but if it sticks for whatever reason, and I hope it will, you get to just search your deck for 3 of any card, which is pretty. That's pretty potent. This is similar to Radiant Jirachi's ability, if I'm not mistaken. So,
well, I mean,
super cool effect.
If you get the cards in your hand, can't they just make you shuffle them back into your deck next turn?
They can. That's also a possibility. Although, at least currently, decks are running less and less Iono. Iono is not as common as it once was. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to run them at all, but they won't have as many. So the chances of it getting hit aren't as likely. Still very possible, but not as likely.
I haven't seen this Palis Sand yet. I don't know what it does.
So Palis Sand is an EX from Surging Sparks. For 3 colorless energy, it has the attack Sand Tomb, which has 160 damage, and says the defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. And then it has an attack called Barite Jail. For water, psychic, fighting, put damage counters on each of your opponent's bench Pokemon until its remaining HP is 100. This is very similar to Galarian Rapidash V. Obviously not the same, but it's similar, where you're throwing a bunch of damage all over the place and then trying to finish it off some other way.
Is this any good?
It remains to be seen. Like, theoretically, it could be like Galarian Rapidash, where there's some sort of niche it finds for a while where it could be playable. I am not fond of the attack costs for that effect, but potentially maybe in expanded, just because there are a lot more ways to power stuff up. Also,
this Palis Sand was semi-teased in another news story that we'll get to about Surging Sparks maze that an event they're gonna have in New York. That's where this was teased, and then I think the very next day this was revealed.
It was,
yeah. It was almost like, oops, we accidentally posted it. We better do the reveal for this.
It was funny because it was TPCI that accidentally revealed it, and then Creatures were like, whoop, I guess we're going to have to reveal that then.
Yeah. Or it could have just been coincidence, but it kind of seemed like it wasn't. All right, and then we have a Doug Trio.
These cards suck so bad.
I love the hair. It's just so funny.
It has an attack. I mean, the art's funny, but it has an attack called Triple Bingo that does 120 damage, and if you don't have exactly 3 cards in your hand, it does nothing.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Sure, it's for free, but like,
could you keep?
I need to have a reason to run it, and that is not it.
Could you keep a straight face if you saw these Pokemon? You're like in Hawaii, looking up a mountain, and you see them gazing off toward the sunset with that hair. It's just so
look at those luscious golden locks on that Alolan Trio. They're
like imitating the Beatles or something, right? Is that what the hair was supposed to be? I don't know. Don't know. Isn't it like Beatles or something?
All I know is it's perfectly ridiculous to me.
It's funny. Okay, and then we had Peturunt and Eternatus.
Yeah, so we'd seen Peturunt recently. It's actually already been revealed and released here internationally.
Yeah.
We've seen it before.
Yeah.
I have this optics. Yeah, it's actually got 2 different prints here over here already, so it's kind of cool. And we do have a single prizer Eternatus. Finally, for a single darkness energy, it has Dynablast. It does 10 plus damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, this attack does 80 more damage. So you're doing 90 damage for a single energy. If your opponent's Pokemon is active Pokemon is an EX, and then for Fire and Double Darkness, you have World's End. Does 230 damage. Discard a Stadium card and play. If you can't, this attack does nothing.
Kind of funny that Dynablast is tied to the game that Eternatus is from, Gigantamax, Dynamax Pokemon, and then in this generation they've somehow translated this attack to have to go after Pokemon EX instead of like Pokemon VMAX.
They're
or
going
something.
after the big rule box for this era, so it makes sense.
But it's like thematically doesn't thematically make sense, but that's what happens when you tie a Pokemon to the mechanics of that generation. So they have to come up with, I guess, ways of somehow making it make sense, because they don't have Pokemon VMAX right now to target. So
good. Anyway,
let me see. Was there any other Supercharged Breakers last week? Okay. So we had. Okay, we did have a few. Hold on. Oh yeah, we did have.
Looks like 3 more.
Yeah, we have a lot actually. Okay, so Iron Bundle.
So Iron Bundle and Fluttermane, I don't think either of these is really worth writing home about. Bewildering Transfer is maybe interesting-ish. So Fluttermane has the attack Bewildering Transfer for double colorless. Move all damage counters from one of your benched ancient Pokemon to your opponent's active
Pokemon.
Trying to sneeze, sorry. And then you have Moonblast for 70 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon's attacks do 30 less damage before applying weakness resistance. Second attack, not really that interesting. First attack, maybe interesting in context, but it is very specifically limited to benched ancient Pokemon, so it needs to be Pokemon that you're going to want to throw all the damage off of, and in these cases, ancient Pokemon are all going to be basics, so they're all going to have a certain cap in terms of how much HP they have. I know some people initially were like, oh, well, we could get a bunch of damage on Roaring Moon EX and throw all that damage on the opponent. But the fact is, your opponent's almost certainly going to be knocking Roaring Moon out the second you use the attack anyway to get the damage on there. So the chances of you being able to use this to heal off that damage are just not very good.
I can see this Fluttermane being in the Halloween booster packs for next year.
Yeah, I could see that.
Being a ghosty type. And maybe the Iron Bundle will be in the holiday calendar next year.
I can see that. I love Delibird.
Mm-hmm. It's not Delibird, it's Iron Bundle.
Yeah, it's Delibird with extra steps. Anyway, so we're next Pokemon. We have Покoko, Crocodile, and Skeletors, which has Unaware. Prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. Damage is not an effect. And then it has the attack Flare Recital, which does 60 plus damage. This attack does 20 more damage for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. This is very similar to Entei V, very similar to Raikou V, very similar to Rotated Suicune V, which is Palkia V-Star, doing damage based on what's in play. You know what? It's great with Area 0 Under Depths. You play this with something that can kind of jive with it and have some fun. Maybe you're playing it with Hearthline Mask, Ogre Point EX. Maybe you're playing with something else a little bit better. But either way, it's not awful. It's a stage 2, which means it's a little slow. But you do have some other ways to boost how good this is. You could pair it up with the Skeletor's EX that boosts damage. I believe it's by 60 or 80, I think it's 60. If you discarded energy from your hand. Let me pull up that text so I'm not crazy. I mean, well, I am crazy, but you know. It is indeed 60, so you discard a basic fire energy card from your hand, and then it boosts it by 60. So you could theoretically drastically boost the damage of the Skeletors by pairing it with the EX from Paradox Rift.
Mm. And then we had the Myotic EX, which we've already talked about.
Myotic we saw earlier. Tapu Koko, not really anything to write home about. Togekiss is kind of interesting. Togekiss has the ability Wonder Kiss. Whenever your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out, flip a coin. If heads, take an additional prize card for that knockout. This ability does not stack. So you can't be taking like 3 coin flips to try to figure out whether or not you're getting... Yeah, this is not happening. But, you know, you could theoretically get an extra prize card for it. We do also see Hydreigon EX, which is very fun. Hydreigon has the attack... this is translated here, Crash Heads. Does 200 damage, discard the top 3 cards from your opponent's deck. And then for Psychic, Darkness, Metal, and Colorless, Obsidian does 130 damage, and you're doing 130 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon in addition to that. So, not terrible, but
can I
Crash
show,
Heads is what you're probably going to be using.
Can I show you a funny clip?
Sure.
Hold on. Have you seen this?
My secret weapon. Let's go!
That's what it is! Your secret weapon's Hydreigon!
Cameron has revealed his secret weapon, Hydreigon.
Cameron's secret
Hydreigon.
Cameron's first Pokemon is the awesome and fearsome Hydreigon.
It's Hydreigon.
No wonder you call Hydreigon your secret weapon. I'm totally psyched seeing how powerful your Hydreigon is. That Hydreigon of yours sure is strong, all right.
Of course it is. That's why it's my secret weapon.
I thought it was
Yikes.
Anyway.
That's some fantastic writing. Anyway. We also have Tuxedo EX, which has the attack Sneaky Pump. Does 100 damage for Fire Water. This attacks damage ignores all effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. This is a Shred effect, which is always good to see. And then Cinnabar Lure for Fire, Water, Darkness. Look at the top 10 cards of your deck. Choose any number of Pokemon you find there and put them onto your bench and shuffle the other cards back into your deck. This is kind of nice because you can find some evolution Pokemon on those top 10 cards. Magically, they're on the bench.
Oh, I didn't realize Cinnabar was a red mineral. Huh.
Yep.
Interesting. Slacking EX.
Yeah, Slacking is one of the best cards we've seen revealed so far, I think. So Slacking has Slacking Off. If your opponent has no Pokemon EX or V in play, this Pokemon can't attack. But it does have the attack Great Swing for 2 energy, a double colorless as it turns out. It does 280 damage, and you discard an energy from this Pokemon. That's very good damage output. Your opponent's very likely to have an EX in play, which means this is not that hard to get out and attacking. I think it's pretty decent. For our trainer here, we have Jasmine's Gaze. During your opponent's next turn, each of your Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon after applying Weakness and Resistance. This includes Pokemon, or new Pokemon that come into play during that turn, so I think it's pretty good. And then Colbur Berry, we're kind of seeing an extension of those berries that do damage reduction based on type. In this case, Colbur Berry is going to reduce the attack damage by 60 for an opponent's Darkness Pokemon.
And I think that's the end of the Supercharged Breaker cards. So now we can go back.
We do have some other news stories. Yeah, we can hit
go
those
back
up.
to the other stories of the week, or weeks, I should say. Okay.
2 weeks.
So the Pokemon Center the English Pokemon Centers have released a new special delivery box for $49.99. Unfortunately, it's already sold out, but this is the first time they have sold a product like this, so we might get more in the future whenever they, I guess, are trying to get rid of some of their stock. So each special delivery box, which is basically a mystery box, comes with 10 randomly inserted items, including a figure, 2 plushes, a 3-pack pin set, a hat, a set of 65 card sleeves, and 4 booster packs. You won't know which you're going to receive. So you can see here's the figure, the plush, the pins, the hats, the sleeves, and packs from one of these sets. So
Fusion Strike, yuck.
I guess that's their way of getting rid of stock, putting them into those boxes. I think it's kind of a smart way of doing it, I guess.
Sure.
And they've also released a new line of TCG accessories, as you can see here, featuring Lucario, Pikachu, and Charizard, and then the
I like the kind of comic booky style of that deck box. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen this before. Well, we've definitely seen this style before.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's a cool style. And then we have the pseudo-legendary Pokemon here, which are now officially called heavy hitter Pokemon. Dragonite, Salamence, Hydreigon, Tyranitar, and Metagross.
That's like a secret weapon.
Garchomp. Anyway, then we have Ditto. It's kind of cool, simple Ditto. Yeah. And then Dreamy Dragonite here, Iron Moth and Slitherwing, and Moo Moo Milk, Miltank.
Moo Moo Milk with Miltank, yeah.
Yeah, so.
I don't know. These are not early accessories for me.
Yeah, I agree.
But I appreciate them.
I kind of like, I don't know. I would maybe like the Ditto or the Lucario, Pikachu, Charizard, but I wouldn't go out of my way for that.
I don't hate the Lucario, Pikachu, Charizard, Matt. I think that would be pretty decent. Yeah. The rest of it,
I wouldn't go out of my way for them, but like if I won them at an event or something, I'd be happy. All right, and then
It's definitely no Ultra Pro. It's no Ultra Pro product. How's that?
yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's between Ultra Pro and
those guys are so awful.
yeah. All right, and then we are getting some more Chinese exclusives. This is traditional Chinese. So the traditional Chinese language for the card game, for the Pokemon trading card game, released 5 years ago in October 2019. And to celebrate that, they are releasing this premium 5th anniversary box called the Traditional Chinese Edition 5th Anniversary Top Class Card Set. It'll release in Taiwan and Hong Kong on October 25th, so in a few weeks. You can see it right here. So it's going to include this new Pikachu artwork. This Pikachu is a reprint, but the artwork is new. The artwork shows Pokemon representing each of the past 3 generations that the traditional Chinese card game has been out. So it's got Pikachu, Zoroark here representing Zoroark GX, Mew here representing Mew V, and Mew V Max, and then Charizard here representing Terra Charizard EX. So yeah,
it's cool artwork. I like it.
Yeah. The Charizard's kind of like hidden in this artwork. I thought that was kind of weird.
It makes it even cooler.
I almost I didn't even see it almost the first time I saw it. I was like, what is that? The cards are so busy these days, but especially with those hats. And then the box is going to include 15 stamped promo cards, 5 from each of the last 3 generations, as you can see here, like the Zoroark, Ultra Necrozma, Rayquaza, GX, yada yada, Eternatus VMAX, Koraidon EX. So all these cards have a special stamp on them, as you can see right there, which is representing the logo here on the box. And it'll also come with these accessories, this cool keychain, deck box, card sleeves, card holder box, and a booster box of Supercharged Breaker in traditional Chinese. And the whole box will cost about $88 US. So yeah, if you want that
product.
If you want that Pikachu, you're probably gonna have to spend $88 on this product to get it, because I don't know that it's very likely that this Pikachu is going to release, this artwork is going to release elsewhere, because it's representing the last 3 generations of cards, and we're well beyond that now. So this may remain exclusive to Taiwan, and
they could always throw it out. Like Mew is still fairly recent. Zoroark's getting an EX soon.
Yeah, maybe it could have like a double meaning, I guess. Was that your Alexa?
Yes, it was. It's one of the most obnoxious things ever.
I'm always cussing at mine. She just interrupts me. She doesn't. Google is so bad with their products. They like purposefully plan them to like be, like planned obsolescence, like to be useless after a few years. And she just has severe dementia. She doesn't understand anything I say anymore. She was so good when I first got her.
It's funny too. I don't have this issue with my HomePod. Like it has Siri obviously and does stuff that way. But the HomePod came out in 2018 now, so 8 years ago, and it works just fine.
Yeah, well, it's because
I don't have issues like this.
Yeah.
But the dots, man, they don't know how to shut up.
Well, same with Google. Same thing. I think when the Alexa thing first came out, that weren't they like laughing in the middle of the night or something?
Yeah, they were.
There was a glitch where they were laughing.
There were all sorts of weird problems with them.
In the middle of the night. Oh, man. Oh, apparently AI is going to take over.
Serial killer Alexa.
Yeah. They say AI is going to take over the world, but I don't know. Not with what we've seen of these things. And then, but if they ever do take over the world, they're going to like all the abuse we've given them, like yelling at them, like that's not what I effing said. They're going to like come and kill us for treating them badly. I'm sorry, Google. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Okay, Google, what's your favorite Pokemon?
I like Snorlax. He seems like a good cuddler.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Anyway. All right. Next story. What do we have? Okay, so that maze that I was
The maze, yeah, let's
talking
talk about
about
the
earlier.
maze.
So TPCI is going to have a pop-up event called the Pokemon Stellar Maze in New York City from October 19th to 20th. This is the same time New York Comic Con is taking place, but the event, Pokemon's event, isn't affiliated with it. So this is just Pokemon's way of capitalizing on the foot traffic that'll be at that event. You know, get our fellow nerds that are interested in geek culture and stuff to maybe have some interest in the Pokemon trading card game. So, according to the press release, this pop-up will offer fans the opportunity to explore a mirrored stellar crystalline maze inspired by Area Zero of the Paldea region. After emerging from the maze, trainers will encounter a sneak peek at Pokemon featured in Surging Sparks, with oversized cards scattered among crystalline formations in an area inspired by the coastal biome. In addition, a variety of photo ops and an interactive card gallery previewing select cards from the set will await trainers. And then you'll also get a goodie bag with TCG products while supplies last. It'll be open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. both of those days near the convention center. So you can see here some photos of it. This was the... This was where Palis Sand could kind of be seen, and some of our commenters were able to identify that as Palis Sand. Yeah.
That was really cool. You could pull that off.
I know. I was like, I have no idea what that is. So that's why it's good to have a comment section dedicated or for dedicated fans, because they will figure that kind of stuff out. So yeah, this is cool. If you're going to be at New York Comic Con, you definitely will want to check this out. I don't know if this is something you would go out of your way to go check out. You wouldn't just go to New York for this, but
it's one of those things if you're there anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. You'll get a free goodie bag, which who knows what that'll have. Be like some fun packs or
It'll
something.
have something while supplies last.
Yeah.
That's what it'll have.
All right. Oh, okay. So the long-lost Jirachi V Box is now available in the U.S. So this Jirachi V Box has already released in Europe. It first released in August 2023 in Europe, but it never came here to the U.S., and now it's starting to appear at Walmart and other stores for $21.99. I wrote in the story it's unclear if this will be a store exclusive product to Walmart, but I think I've seen since I posted this that it's also at other stores too. Let me double check that though, actually, before I commit to saying that. But anyway, so
either way, it's out and it's
out.
available in the United States.
It is out. So this product has always been kind of weird. It was announced a long time ago and just never came out. It came out originally in Europe, as I said, in August 2023. This was a full year after Pokemon V were over with. And it was printed as Sword and Shield $2.99, the last promo of the Sword and Shield promos. And it was originally cut from 2022's Astral Radiance. So we're getting it like, what?
Yeah, it's really long overdue by like 2 years.
Yeah. So I posted in here, like, I had a couple of theories for why this happened. I said, this is pure speculation, but maybe the Jirachi V was a last-minute print to ensure the Sword and Shield promos wouldn't have a gap in them. I don't know. And then I said during the black and white era, at least one product was canceled before release that was going to have these Pikachu and Raichu promos that never were printed. Only their images survive. So I don't know if this Jirachi was like a last minute promo. It could also just be that it was just delayed and, you know, the TCG had moved on from Scarlet and Violet and it no longer became a priority to print this. So, yeah. So the box comes with the Jirachi V that was cut from Astral Radiance, a jumbo version, a holo promo of Absol from Astral Radiance, 4 packs, and a code card, all for $21.99. So
it exists. It's out. We're good.
Yeah, you don't have to buy it now from Europe to get it. My sympathies go to those of you who spent a lot of money on getting it from Europe now that it's out here. But I wouldn't actually, I don't know. That was probably maybe a smart decision because it really did not seem like they were going to release this here. So, but they did, and it was really late. But I had it on my to-do list forever. I was like, I was going to have like one more follow-up story saying, wow, this product has disappeared. And I erased it from my to-do list like a few months ago because I was like, they're not going to release it. It's been way too long, but guess they decided to now.
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
They finally put it out.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe it'd be something they drop as like a Black Friday deal, but they didn't even do that. So
no, it's just so randomly out there. All right. This story. Okay. Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Genetic Apex.
I hated all of this Pocket coverage because I didn't get any sleep and it wrecked me for days. But Pocket is now out in New Zealand for the soft launch, and you can see here a lot of the beautiful new cards. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen them by now. The story is old at this point, but
for the record, people seem to be having a decent amount of fun with Pocket. So
yeah,
whoever put it together for creatures, props to you. Clearly, you've fixed some issues with the core game, and people are enjoying it. So good job.
So I have a page for Genetic Apex that you can read all about it and see all the cards from the set. So I sort of played the game, but not really long enough to form an opinion. And as I've talked about before, I'm maybe not the best person to give an opinion on it because video games really aren't my... they don't give me a lot of pleasure in general. So I'm maybe not the best person to give an opinion on this app, especially since I haven't played it for very long at this point. But from what I did see, it was a little bit fun, but I just, for me personally, and this is just me personally, I kind of think it's a waste of time, but
I think it's a great toilet game. How's that?
Yeah, maybe that. But I wouldn't spend money on this, and I do hope that they will eventually print these cards. Maybe like once interest in this, maybe once like a majority of people collect these cards, maybe they'll release like a set in like a year or two, maybe with some of the artwork. I don't know. That's pure speculation.
Maybe.
But anyway, the app is out there. You can, there's ways to play it right now before it launches officially on October 30th. And then we'll see how often they release new sets for this. But yeah, I mean, people seem to like it, as you said. So that's great. You know, Pokemon is a very large franchise, and there's so many different aspects of it. You know, you have the anime, you've got the games, you've got the trading card game, you've got everything. So there's something for everybody, and if something isn't for you or for me, it's for somebody else. So that's the beauty of Pokemon, is that there's so many things to enjoy about it. So yeah. Have you played it yet? I imagine that's a...
Nope.
Yeah. You're too busy.
I'm going to wait for the official release. I'm not in a rush.
Yeah. Like I said, I played it for a little bit, but yeah, I think I'm going to wait too, and definitely not going to pay for anything on it. But yeah, I want to battle more on it. I think that'll be fun for me. The battling, I don't know if the collecting is really my thing, but for this, I mean, but battling, that's at least feels like a game.
Nothing quite as fun as collecting JPEGs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But you have to admit, like, the art is really good.
I mean, the art's pretty good in general.
Yeah.
I think the trainer arts are a little off to me. They don't seem to fit very well into the regular TCG.
Like the Misty.
They almost look like arts you'd see on like counterfeit Pokemon cards.
Like Deviant, or even like Deviant art.
Misty is a great example of that, honestly.
Yeah.
Misty looks very much like a counterfeit Pokemon card.
Yeah.
But
no, I agree with that. But I love the Pokemon. I think they look... I mean, this Moltres EX, we've seen that before. That's just so beautiful. It's in a desert. I love that. The Articuno. Zapdos is pretty good, too. And then, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really good artwork that I think people can appreciate. Slowpoke has an extended sort of art here. In Fossil, we originally saw Slowpoke just here by itself, but turns out it was never alone. It had friends all around it. We just didn't see them. They were off screen. And then like this Charmander is beautiful. I love the colors on it. The Gyarados is nice. I mean, there are a lot of good art.
the Gyarados is awesome.
Yeah, a lot of...
Yeah, I'm not saying there isn't. There's tons of great artwork.
Yeah. and I also haven't like fully looked at all of the cards yet because I didn't want to get too spoiled by them. So I haven't like really looked at a lot of them in detail yet. But yeah, I'll probably play it more when it comes out officially, and then yeah. I mean, why am I saying I didn't play it? I did a lot of research to compile this information, but I don't know. I don't count it as playing it when I'm not like when I'm doing work. I don't feel like I'm playing. I don't know. I'm not making any sense.
You're working. You're not playing.
Yeah. So I didn't really play it for fun or enjoyment or whatever. So, because I was like, God, when the app first launched, that one it was afternoon my time, and I was going through writing all of the text for the cards because the app has it shows you because you can exchange cards for points, and it had like little tiny thumbnails of all the cards. So I started going through and typing them all, and then people started posting like the high quality screenshot, not high quality, but the bigger images of them. And so then I was like, why do I even have to type all this up? We can just look at the images. And then I stopped doing that. And then anyway, okay. So yeah, Pocket is out. If you want to play it, the soft launch is available now, and then it'll be out on October 30th for everybody else. So yeah.
Yep, it's out.
Our last
for New Zealand, and it'll be out here soon. Last story of the week.
Of the weeks is
Of the weeks.
There's a new 3-episode YouTube miniseries called The Pokemon Trading Card Game Scarlet and Violet Stellar Crown Showdown by the popular Geek and Sundry YouTube channel. The series features 3 celebrity guests, including Terry Crews, Jacob Batalon from Spider-Man No Way Home. That's the friend of Peter Parker, the actor. And then Abigail Breslin from Zombieland. I haven't seen that, but... yeah, I mean, the moment I saw this, I felt... I don't know. I just don't think Pokemon does it.
This is for people who aren't already TCG players, is what it is.
Yeah, but
this is to try to capture people who are
obviously,
super casuals who might see the packs in the store.
Yeah,
and go, maybe in the future.
They see the actors. They're like, oh, this actor likes Pokemon. I should like it too, you know. But
easily influenced.
But when I'm looking at it and I see like it's so obviously decorated by Pokemon's people, like they're putting all the Pokemon Center, it just doesn't feel genuine to me. And that's nothing against the people who are working on the show or the host or anything. It's just like it just feels very corporate and cold to me. But again, like you're saying,
this is Geek and Sundry, which is, if I'm not mistaken, Felicia Day's YouTube channel. So like you were saying, you know, oh, this is clearly decorated by Pokemon. They're very geeky on that channel already, so maybe, but still, it's not out of the question that they would do it too.
No. Pokemon advertise this on their social media channels. Pokemon is very...
Oh, I'm sure it's sponsored content, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Pokemon is very... But if Pokemon is backing something, they have their hands all over it. Like, they're very... I don't want... The word isn't controlling. I don't want to say the word controlling, but it's like they're very... You know, when it comes to their image, they're very controlling. I don't know what the word is. Controlling
they're
has like a negative...
hands-on.
Yeah, it's not... I didn't mean to make it sound like a negative connotation, but yeah. I tried watching the first episode, but I just couldn't get into it. I don't know. It reminds me of that the show they just came out with, the Trainer Tour show, where it's just so
with Andrew Mahone.
Yeah, it feels so corporate. It feels like cold and corporate. It doesn't feel like people who are really involved that really care, like you and I or other fans were involved. It doesn't feel like it has that kind of unprofessional sort of touch to it, that fan-y touch to it. It feels just too produced. So
I get what you mean. Yeah.
So for me, I tried watching. Anyway. But the first episode came out on September 24th. The second episode came out on Tuesday, and then the third episode featuring Abigail Breslin will come out on next Tuesday. So I wonder how many views these got. Actually, let me check. So the first episode with Terry Crews got 93,000. It's not like the greatest.
That's something.
Still something.
I am going to.
But I mean, it was advertised on their channels. Pokemon's official. Ooh, the second one only has 14,000 views. Ooh, that's not good.
Which means it probably wasn't. Yeah, it's a big fall off. I mean, part of that might be that everybody knows Terry Crews. Not everybody necessarily knows Jacob Batalon, but still.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good that Pokemon is trying to reach out to more people, but I don't know. I feel like when they do sponsored things like this and they're this professional about it, it just reeks of corporate. It just doesn't. I don't know if it really convinces a lot of people. That's just my opinion. I'm sure they have the numbers to back what they're doing. So
yeah,
I don't.
If you're listening to us, what do you feel about the corporate feeling of these kinds of shows?
Yeah. All right. So I think that's it for the week. Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna get more Supercharged Breaker cards this coming week. We should be. Oh well, we also had we had one more story for Surging Sparks. We had the reveals of Latios and Latios's illustration rares. So we're gonna get more English cards revealed from Surging Sparks, but I believe we already know the full set list just based off these two cards. It's pretty much just Paradise Dragona, Supercharged Breaker, and then the cut. We know that the cut Peturunt won't be in there. Anyway, just look at the Poke Beach forums. You'll see the full set list. It's very predictable. So there won't be any surprises. Oh, I'm sorry. And Justin Basil's website, of course. JustinBasil.com to see the full set list. So yeah, this set is very predictable.
This is fine. That's what we expect.
Yeah, not in a bad way. I just mean like we're not going to have any surprises here.
To be fair, Surging Sparks is a lot more exciting than Stellar Crown was. Yeah, there's a lot more to want in here. Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's good.
Yeah. So we're going to get the Stellar Ceruledge and Sylveon EX decks in here, Paradise Dragona, and Supercharged Breaker. And then next year we get the fun with
all the fun stuff.
The owners Pokemon and Team Rocket and whatever else they use to stall while we wait for ZA. ZA is definitely not coming in the next few months. It'll probably be, I think at this rate, it feels like it's going to be summer at the very earliest. So we'll probably find out more on Pokemon Day in February. But okay, that's it for the week. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
What I do want to say is if you made it this far into the episode, comment a Alolan Dugtrio with the good hair.
And I guess that's it.
Yep.
Getting ready for... What did I do? Oh, yeah, I'm having my birthday party tomorrow at the park, lake party. It'll be fun.
Yes, this guy's getting older. Make sure to wish him a happy birthday in the comments, everyone.
I'm, how old am I? What's 1988 minus 24?
Maybe 36, I believe.
36, okay. Yikes.
So old.
Yikes.
Exactly 1 year older than me.
I don't feel 36.
So
I feel, I was just at KB Toys the other day getting my plastic Pokeballs. And did you ever have these? My booster packs.
I had one that was much bigger than that, but I had one growing up. That was it though.
All my stuff from KB Toys and the Wizards of the Coast store that they used to have at the malls. All my stuff.
So crazy.
Yeah, I did keep a few things sealed, but not much. I pretty much open everything. What other stuff do I have? Anyway. Oh, look what I have.
It's an Oddish. Hey, somebody ruined that Oddish. They wrote all over it. If you're listening to this rather than watching, I signed both these Oddish.
It's at the top of my drawer. I wonder what else I have in here.
Yeah.
Let me see what else I've got.
Speaking of which, we have official confirmation that there is going to be a San Antonio Regional Championships in January. So if you are coming out to that, you will have a chance to meet me. I do intend to be there at San Antonio Regional Championships. And if you are somebody who has immersed themselves in the wonderful world that is the Eternal format, I'm planning to have at least one, if not two, Eternal format tournaments at the San Antonio Regional Championships.
Nice.
So do look forward to that.
I still have these booster pack wrappers, but I'm missing. They're under the deck. I'm missing Blastoise base set, an empty wrapper, and I'm missing Scyther and Lapras, I think, from Fossil. If anyone has those empty packs lying around, let me know. Okay, so that's it. Let's go to bed.
Well, I will squeeze the cat right before I go to bed.
Oh, here's my kitty.
I suggest you squeeze yours.
He ran. He knew I was coming to grab it.
Yeah, he's like, nope, I know what's up. I'm not doing
He
this.
hates being in front of the camera. He really hates it. Anytime I try taking selfies with him, he tries to get out of my hands. But if there's no phone, no camera around, he's fine. All right, we will see you all next week. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment what you comment, or you already said it. And we'll see you next week. Bye.